holiday season, the Christmas season, has so many different components to it that require our time, our energy, our emotions, our attention. But the one thing that's really powerful and really unique about this time of year is that for believers, we always turn and we put our attention to one of the greatest days in history. That is when Christ came and was born on this earth. It's the traditional time that we celebrate his birth. And it holds something special for those of us who are followers of God, because we recognize that this is a moment where heaven touched down on earth and where the separation of mankind from the relational aspect to a Father who loves them and to all the riches available to us and all the blessings available to us as a son and daughter of God now are being made available to us. The thing that I love about this celebration is that it really talks about the fulfillment of God's promises in our life. I love the line in the Christmas Carol and the Christmas song where it says, "A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices." And I think about that moment when all of creation, one minute, was wondering if they were going to continue on in the pursuit of a sacrificial system to reunite them with God, to put them in right standing. And then all of a sudden, a thrill of hope came. Something broke. The prophecies were fulfilled. Something happened in humanity that the earth rejoiced in. Creation responded to. And there was a new covenant released to God's people. It was the fulfillment of promise. It was the fulfillment of prophecies. It was the fulfillment of the expectation of humanity that our loving Father is actually making a way there where there was no way. He's making a way for us where it seemed impossible. And to me, that is the power of this season. Remove the gifts, remove the decorations, the songs, the celebrations, and boil it down to its most simple, traditional celebration and practice. It is the celebration of the promises of God being fulfilled for humanity. It's not just salvation that reunites us, but it is Jesus Christ, the fulfillment, the manifestation of the triune Godhead walking on the earth. And that powerful moment over 2,000 years ago that we have started to just celebrate year after year after year, but then every day in our life is a reminder that God, in making his promises to humanity, the promise itself cannot be compromised. And God is a fulfiller of his word. His character, his nature, creation, even just the order of the universe is set in place because God is non-compromising in who he is. And I love this time of year because for me, it's a moment to actually remember the promises of God, to take an account, to take stock of what has God spoken to me, what has he promised to me, what has he brought in covenant with me, and then to remember that all of a sudden darkness was in the earth, but then a thrill of hope. The world that was weary, that felt like there could be no fulfillment of promise, light breaks through in their darkness. And this holiday season, I want to encourage you to take time to reflect, to thank God for his promises, but also take into account, what has God promised you? If he was faithful 2,000 years ago, if he was faithful 100 years ago, if he was faithful 20 years ago, he will certainly be faithful today because he cannot compromise his name and he will not compromise who he is for his people. It is such a powerful thing. When Jesus came onto the earth, the world rejoiced because their salvation was at hand. Emmanuel, God with us, was walking amongst us with skin, with breath, with hands, and the very nature of God became accessible to man in a way that they could relate to forever. And then God, in his infinite love, takes his very own nature and sends it to the cross to make a way for covenant and new power and new authority. This holiday season, let us remember that God is a promise maker and a promise keeper. He does not break them. The world can rejoice, though it be tired, though it be weary. Though you might be tired, though you might be weary, you can rejoice because God doesn't just bring a thrill of hope, he brings the fullness of his promises to earth. That is why we're able to sing and shout praise and rejoice with him, not just this time, but every day of the year. But we remember it in this season because we're able to look at those around us and we're able to say, hey, don't give up, keep going. God keeps his promises. Let's celebrate together that he is the Redeemer of all mankind, drawing us back to his heart. And so this holiday season, my prayer for you, for your family, is that you would remember the powerful promises of God and how he keeps them for each one of his children. It's his nature, it's his gift, it's his love. He can't compromise it. It's what sent his son to this earth in the first place. Though the world is weary, yet a thrill of hope comes, and the earth will rejoice because God is a keeper of all that he has promised. Merry Christmas. I hope you have an incredible time celebrating with your family. God bless.